Well, we're all happy tonight, aren't we? Good evening and welcome to SAFC Fan TV and another edition of the Sunday Bunch Live. Joining myself, Philly. Tonight we have Dino. What have you been up to today then, Dino?
Nothing at all.
You still depressed?
Nah. I mean, you just go on to the next game. What's the point in looking back on it? You move on to the next game. Season's not one game, season's 46.
All right. Sorry. We've got Jack Shields is with us as well. Jack, have you recovered from yesterday?
Yeah. Well, don't know about recovered, but less volatile, less angry like I was this time yesterday. So not sure recovered's the right word though.
Right, okay. And the Mad Mistake is with us, who was very vocal on the bus yesterday.
Was
you had
that?
a good day, Terry?
It's been. Kenny got some more work done downstairs in the living room. Move on to the next stage, but I'm feeling a little bit blue today.
A little bit blue. Right, before we start, I just want to say hello to Chris. Chris bumped into us. He lives in Duke Street down in Fulwell there. We said we'd give him a mention. So hi to you, Chris. Thanks for tuning in. He says he watches all the time. Don't forget, we are live, which means we are available via the live chat to come and have your say. I'm sure there's lots to say on what happened yesterday. So feel free to join in. Loads of people on there. Too many to mention at the moment. I noticed Tony Lee is in there, though. Tony came on the bus with us yesterday. And Alan Rowland, say hello to Alan, who was our competition winner. He came down and sang well on the bus with us as well. Bolton 6. Oh, it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts. Sunderland 0 yesterday. Our SAFC Fan TV day out went a little bit wrong. So let's start. Who's to blame? Lee Johnson, or is it the players? Jack, do you want to start us off on that?
I don't think you can blame solely Lee Johnson. Obviously, we had 11 players on the pitch yesterday that just didn't perform anywhere near the level you'd expect from a team at this level. But I do think you have to look at the overall bigger picture now, and it's like it's not the first time we've had a heavy loss this season, and it's like it's repeatedly happening over and over again. It's like we haven't really learned our lessons. Lee Johnson perhaps hasn't learned his lessons in terms of the style of play and also in terms of the formation as well. We went back to 4 at the back yesterday, and I think we've lost quite a few every time we played 4 at the back. So I think he has to take his share of the blame. It's for me a symbol of a manager that's not quite sure of where he's going with the club. He's not quite sure of his strongest starting 11. He's not sure of the formation to play, and I think he's really running out of time to convince people. The people that do like him, very, very few now. I thought he was under big pressure in November. He got a few results over November and the Christmas time to kind of save his job, should we say, or give him a bit more time. But that's the worst result in our 140-year history, I think, Phil. I told you yesterday when I did the interview. I mean, we've lost heavy amounts before, but to be beaten 6-0 in the third tier, I can't defend the manager. I can't see a reason for him to stay.
Right. I did see there was a comment on we have got the fan cam videos on our channel, by the way. If you've not seen people's reactions as they came out of the ground, we did collar Jack and on there as well. So if you want to see what he had to say, check those out as well. There is one comment somebody's put on there about Lee Johnson is not the man because he's not capable of giving the players the hairdryer treatment like at halftime. How do we know something like that? Do you agree with that, Jack? I mean, we don't know, do we?
Well, no, we don't. I mean, we don't know what Lee Johnson's like in the dressing rooms, and we don't know what he's like on the training pitch, so we can't say anything, in relation to that. But a manager lives and dies by his results, really, and they haven't been great at all this season. I know we've been. I think in terms of why we're in the top 2, because we've played a lot more games than a lot of teams around us. Rotherham have got games in hand on us. Wigan have, and I know people say, well, they've got to win the games in hand, but I think that's given us maybe an inflated sense of how well the season's gone. And yesterday was a massive reality check.
Right, okay. Different people on the chat. Thane saying bring Warnock in. till the end of the season. He'll sort people out. People are saying get Defoe, Mick Griffiths. Defoe won't fix the problem. Apparently, all people coming in on the chat with their comments there. Terry, who's to blame then? Is it Lee Johnson? Is it the players' fault? Who's to blame?
Well, initially you've got to start blaming Lee Johnson, but then the players as well. But I mean, how often do we blame the manager? We blame Jack Ross. We blame Parkinson. Now we blame Lee Johnson. We blame the players under Jack Ross. We've changed some of the players under Parkinson. We blame the players under Parkinson. Now we've changed the players under Lee Johnson. So for whatever reason, the manager and the players don't seem to be getting it right. Now these players are almost a whole bunch of new players, barring Gooch in the side yesterday. And, you know, he kind of felt lucky with Lee Johnson at some part of the season. Like his wing-backs, the system he changed to a wing-back system, sort of felt lucky. We started to play a little bit better with the wing-backs with 3 central defenders. You know, every man and his dog, and even Dino will agree, everybody can see we're better with 3 centre-backs than we are with 2. So why do we move back to a flat-back 4 yesterday? What's Lee Johnson seeing that we don't see? Because it's not working, because for whatever reason, I don't think Doyle is strong enough with one other central defender there. As long as, you know, I don't know about Bart's got a bit more time in his hands, because we know he's got the experience and the knowledge, but everybody underperformed yesterday. We all know they did. But to start off the game by making it your weaker side, by doing out of the 2 systems, put it to the weaker system. I mean, I've heard somewhere today, I don't know if it's true or not, whether we've lost every single time this season when we played a flat back 4. So something there is telling you. So either Lee Johnson is taking opposition lightly in Bolton, thinking we're going to beat them quite comfortably because they're down the bottom, down in the middle of the table, or he's just completely stubborn. He just wants to play this 4-2-3-1, which it's not working because Stewart's been so isolated. Imagine if Stewart got more help up front, how we could, you know, how many more goals he might get, how many more goals we might get. And 2, we was shipping in goals for fun. I mean, it's something like 39 goals we've let in this season. You know, we're catching up to the goals we've scored. It's bizarre. It's beyond beggars' belief. So Lee Johnson's got to take a lot of the blame for this, and players too. But for me, you know, he's got to do something now drastically to change what he said in his interview after the game yesterday. He's got a lot of changes to make. So it'll be interesting to see what he does actually for the Doncaster match, because I'm sure he'll still be here.
Right, okay. Again, on the chat, people are already chucking names in for managers. People are saying there's a Peter Reid in there. The brown envelope guy, some are saying. Look, we've got 240 people on the chat already, 44 likes. Just hit the thumbs up if you would, please. We like to hit 100 if we can on a Sunday. And if you are watching and haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. It's free to subscribe, and that will help us out. Just very quickly, you mentioned about his players. There is players, and people were saying about, it's initially it's not his team. Now it is his team. Are you not happy with the people he's brought in?
Well, at the end of the day, Lee Johnson's brought them in with Speakman, so they're happy. They think he's going to do the job to get promoted. So either Lee Johnson just can't find a way to get the players to play well. Either he's not competent enough. He can't do it. He says they're working really well in training and everything's rosy in the garden in training. We look absolutely fantastic in training. For whatever reason, on the pitch, we're just being found out. So whether other managers are technically finding out Lee Johnson's sort of naivety or whatever, or Lee Johnson's just not good enough. Simple as. He's brought the players in, but does he have a bit more time to get the players to gel together and the new players to come in, the Roberts, the Clarks to come in and play better? Has he got the bottle to actually drop someone like Gooch? Or is Gooch best pals with Lee Johnson? Do they go out for pints, a few drinks, a cup of tea, and biscuits on a Sunday afternoon? What's happening? Because we all say Gooch is not performing at this moment in time, but he's still playing. So when the other players get up to speed, if he's still here, I'm pretty sure he'll still be here. It'd be interesting if he actually drops Gooch. Will he go back to five at the back, the wing-back system? Because we all can see what's going wrong. And it's just, I just don't think that the team actually yesterday didn't turn up. And they shown Lee Johnson yesterday that they didn't want to play for him, for me.
Right, okay then. We want to give a shout out to Emma Hansen, who's on the chat. She had an asthma attack yesterday at the game. I believe it was something to do with the flare. I think the flare went off in the upper level. I'm not sure. So hope you're feeling all right, Emma. Dino, 6-0, terrible, absolutely dreadful performance yesterday. Who's to blame then? Is it Lee Johnson? Is it the players?
Well, the formation straight away doesn't help. I mean, we all know we play better with a back three. But I don't believe just because you change the formation that your players go out to play like that. It's only a change in formation. There's still 11 players on the pitch. I remember when we first went to a back three and everyone was whinging that we should go to a back four. Back three's too negative. Fans change the mind all the time about certain players playing certain tactics, blah blah blah. But yeah, the four at the back just didn't work. But the players so badly down-tooled yesterday, it was ridiculous. I mean, the first goal was a route one. I don't care if you've got 3 or 2 defenders at the back. You should never be done by a route one ball. I mean, Hoffman and Doyle, I don't know what both of them were doing. Doyle totally misread the flight of the ball because I think it was windy yesterday. Maybe that played a part, I don't know. But Hoffman hesitated. He hesitated for that split second, and the player nipped in and lobbed him and went in. And all the rest of the goals were just... Don't get us wrong, Bolton did do some nice passing play. I mean, when we were passing the ball around, we didn't do anything with it. It was like the players, it was all sideways, backwards. And then when they put one under pressure, we went long. It was going nowhere near where Ross Stewart was. And it was just like that all game. And Bolton just got the better of it. But, I mean, it just go, it's Lee Johnson's fault. I mean, yeah, he didn't start with 3 at the back, but I know we had Flanagan on the bench, but was Flanagan there just in case one of the defenders got injured? I mean, is Flanagan even fully fit? Do we have another registered centre-back who can go onto the bench? I don't know. Like, what's Bailey Wright's situation? I have no idea. I don't even know any of Jamali. What happened to Jamali? Why is he not on the bench? Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking we went 4 at the back because Flanagan isn't ready to play a full 90 minutes. Maybe he's just there just in case someone gets injured or... someone's on a yellow card and you can't get replaced the last minute. Who knows? It's only speculation. But yesterday, the players were awful. Every single one of them were absolutely awful. Daniel was terrible, and he's been one of the better players this season. Gooch, I'm done with Gooch now. He does the same mistakes over and over. He loses the ball constantly. I'm hoping that the 2 signings we've made push Gooch out of the team. I just don't believe Gooch is good enough at this level anymore. He's just been awful. And the only bright spark for me was seeing Roberts and Clark came on. I think Clark should have scored. And Roberts, when he came on, he looked really good. He looked very calm on the ball, very composed. He was taking players on. But that was the only positive I could take out of the game. I thought basically every single man down to a T was absolutely dreadful. And the fans should be given a refund for that game. No doubt about it. Because they gave nothing to shout about all game. So it was embarrassing on every single level as a Sunderland fan.
Right, I'll bring you in just now, Terry, because I know you was wanting in there. I do believe Sir Madgley is they're looking to get him out on loan, aren't they? So he mustn't fancy him anyway. Different people on the chat as well are talking about Dan Neil, saying he's not looked very good. Thinks his head might have been turned with the Villa news and stuff like that, which. Could well be. Terry, you was wanting in when Dino was on?
Yeah, I think I'm sure Flanagan played against Portsmouth in 3 at the back, so I don't know if I think he would have been fit. I think Lee Johnson just wanted to go to flat back 4 for whatever reason. But Lee Johnson's interview said straight away we had an opportunity to break them open with quick play, but we decided not to do it. And the players decided to play all this slow passing around on the pitch, which was totally against what Lee Johnson apparently wanted to do. So that says to me that they're not playing what they're being taught on the training pitch. So how can you fix that? Is he going to drop quite a few players next week? It's beyond me.
Right, okay. I mean, I don't know who said it. Somebody, I don't know if it was on the bus on the way home or something, but, you can't blame Johnson. Johnson's not telling, players that, telling like Hoffman to come out and then stop. And, it's not, he's not, Johnson's not telling them to do that. These players are making these mistakes themselves, Terry.
So what do you do then, Philly? What do you do if the players constantly don't do what you're told?
Well, the players are not doing it on purpose. I think the only thing for me, with the Lee Johnson thing, is in his interview afterwards, he said, they didn't switch it to sort of use the flanks and change it. Well, he's to blame for, you know, for switching it round. He's the one who's there to see these things and then changing it. I know there was a lot of people on the fan cam saying he's got to go. He hasn't got a plan B. But I mean, in his interview there, he's on about you know, about spotting something wrong and changing it. So obviously, he's he's got it in there to do. But then he's let himself down by saying, you know, we should have done this or whatever. And I was thinking, well, why didn't you? Right, okay. Next question.
I just think we need somebody with a bit of authority in charge of these players. You know, someone who I just don't see. I don't think Lee Johnson's the type of player to actually sort of lose his rag with the players. A manager, I mean, I don't think he's the type of manager who would actually set down some laws and sort of. I don't know. It just seems too nice.
But Terry, we don't know that. You know,
I know we don't. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, I just don't think he looks like the type of manager who would go the right act in the changing rooms.
He might have him up against the wall in the changing room for all we know.
I don't think he would. That's all. I just don't think he would.
This is the thing. See, everybody's saying, he's
season
because he's too nice and all this. We don't know that, you know. So, Dino, you went in there.
Yeah, I mean, about the whole hairdryer treatment, can you do that these days? It's not like back in the 90s where Alex Ferguson could put a football boot off David Beckham's face and it'd be all right. That would be classed as assault these days. Yeah. So you cannot do what you used to be able to do. You've got to treat players with a little bit of courtesy, because you can upset one player and you upset the whole apple cart. So you've got to tread on eggshells all the time as a manager, because look what happened to Di Canio. Di Canio tried to take authority and the players just went up and went, we want him sacked, and he was gone. So you've got to tread carefully. You can't just go on like you used to do back in the day, unfortunately.
Look at half time. You could see it wasn't working. He should have dragged one or two of those players off the pitch and just put two other players on it and changed the system at the back. He should have done something, because he knew the players weren't doing the job. Sometimes you can follow a team off the edge of the cliff. To me, yesterday, it seemed that he didn't want to change anything till it was too late. And you've got to be proactive rather than reactive. You've got to do something in the change. You're the manager. You know, you're the head coach. You are leading this team. You've got to lead this team. And if it's not working, you've got to do something about it.
Right. I'm going Jack, you was one in first, and I'll come to you, Dino. Jack?
I don't think it's so much where I'm struggling with Lee Johnson is recruitment. He's had 3 transfer windows now, hasn't he? He's had the winter one last year, the summer one, and this is like his 3rd transfer window. And we're still short in 2 or 3 areas. We're still short in physicality. We're still short in athleticism. We only really know one style of play. Like you say, you only got the knock the ball around, and if that works, then great. But if not, you know, I sometimes look at them and I think, well, you haven't got any other players that'll play a different way. You know what I mean? You haven't got any other style to go to, and I think that's an error from a manager, because at this level, you're not always going to have the type of game whereby it's going to be nice, smooth, pretty football. You're going to get terrible pitches. You're going to get physical teams. You're going to go 1-0 down in games. And I just think, you know, we're too one-dimensional.
Right, I'll bring you in just now, Dean. I quickly want to go to the chat there. List 73 says Kevin Ball as assistant manager. Tasty Tucker saying Di Canio went too far with the no ketchup thing. For me, I think Di Canio spotted it straight from day one. He knew there was a problem at the club, all right, and he tried to. It was too much too fast. But I don't think Di Canio was that far wrong. You know, he'd sort of seen it and gone, right, we're going to put this right. Players didn't like it and got him out there. South Shields would have given Bolton a better game. Adam French says, Dino, you was one in there, mate.
Yeah, on 2 things. Michael Brownlee says, Dino, what we've done since we sacked Jack Ross got with the playoff final, what we've done since we won the pizza trophy. So that argument's out the window. So don't give us that crap. And anyway, yeah, like you say, change the team. I mean, if you look on the bench, right, you got Patrick Roberts, not really match fit. Try Hume, we know nothing about. We don't know anything about him. Jack Clark, I mean, chucking him on, he's still young. Chucking him on when we're getting beat 2-3-0, I mean, that's a lot of pressure. Alex Pritchard, yeah, everyone knows he's quality. Anthony Patterson, you don't really change a goalkeeper. Aidan O'Brien, I mean, people are very 50-50 on him. And Tom Flanagan, people are always 50-50 on him. So you're saying change it. I mean, there's not many players on there where you could make a change and know what's going to work, because half these players, Some of them aren't fit. Some of them we know out about, and some of them everyone's 50-50 on them. I mean, if he brought Aidan O'Brien on, I guarantee half the fans would have been like, "What's he bringing him on for? He's shy." Blah blah blah. So you can't win.
Dino, would you not just turn to a back five, put 3 centre defenders on, brought Flanagan on, put 3 centre defenders on?
But we don't know the state of any of these players. Like Flanagan, did he pick up?
If you're on the bench, you've got to be fit.
Well, not necessarily, Terry. Not necessarily.
So why would you put Jamajli on the bench if you're going to go out on loan instead? If Flanagan's not fit, why wouldn't you put another centre defender on the bench?
Jamali's not his player. Maybe he doesn't rate Jamali. We don't know. We can only surmise. We all know Flanagan's been in this team for how long? He rates him better than Jamali, doesn't he? But for all we know, Flanagan's picked up a knock. You need to have at least a defender on the bench just in case something bad happens.
So we'll change the full back. We'll change all the system to suit Flanagan being injured, who's on the bench, who you only presuming is injured. You don't know what's going on. It could be perfectly fit, 100% fit. And you just said, it's only Bolton. We'll go 4-4. We'll go forward the back, flat back 4. We'll be fine against Bolton. That's the system I want to play. So we'll do it that way, even though our better system is the system the week before where we got to win against Portsmouth.
You change the system to how fit and how agile your players are. Maybe a 4-2. What was it? A 4-2-3-1 we played yesterday. Was it a 4-2-3-1?
4-2-3-1.
I'm not being funny. That system should work regardless. It should work. It didn't, but should. I'm not being funny. Changing one defender for an extra midfielder shouldn't make you get beat 6-0, man. However, that's on the players, man, not the manager. If the players can't perform, that's on them. You tell them what you need to do, and if they're not doing it, I mean, let's be fair. Hoffman couldn't kick the ball out to save his life. He was trying to
who's brought all these players in?
Well, we don't know if it's Johnson or Christian Speakman. We don't know.
So we'll see a 70-30 Speakman. So 30% of the blame still to Johnson if the players don't want to play.
Well, are these players he's brought in actually that bad? I mean, Stewart.
But every single one yesterday, probably not Stewart, because he gets the ammunition. He got nothing yesterday at all. Bolton did their job on Stewart 100% yesterday, and Stewart got nothing. Absolutely scraps, if that.
Right, okay. Different people on the chat, and there's somebody saying I'm best mates with Lee Johnson. Look, I'm just putting the questions out there. Can I ask a question? Right? Everyone's saying sack Lee Johnson now to save promotion, right? Say we're sacking, we're getting another manager in, and we still don't get promoted. Are we still going to blame Lee Johnson? Well, of course they will, but we'll see. But everyone's saying sack him now, we can still get promoted with a new manager. So if we did that and we didn't get promoted, would everyone say it's still Lee Johnson's fault?
Look, you can do ifs and buts as much as you want, but we can see what's happening at this moment in time. It's not working. It's not very good. We're shipping in goals left, right, and centre. We're getting smashed off Rotherham, smashed off Sheffield Wednesday, smashed yesterday, smashed off Lincoln at home 3-1, which was absolutely awful. So there's something wrong somewhere. Right, let me. I'll bring in just now. I mean, we are going to get onto all these things anyway, but go on, Dino.
Taffy Mackham says, I can't believe my ears. Dino thinking winning Peter Mickey Mouse Cup is a plus since Ross is gone. Well, is it not? It's a trophy. I mean, we got beaten in the final. Everyone was gutted about it, but now it's not an achievement because Johnson is in charge. Stop with the agendas, man. Of course, it's an achievement. It's a trophy. It's a chip at Wembley. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right, okay. 350 people we got on the stream at the moment. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. We've got 97 likes. We just want 3 more people. Just smash that thumbs up. Let's get to 100. And don't forget, please, if you are watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell as well, and then you'll be notified of any future things we do on the channel. And it is free to subscribe, and it does help us out. Son Until I Die there says, Dino, chill, mate. David K. Dino is a Johnson lover, and I'm not a Johnson lover. But sacking a manager doesn't automatically just get you promotion. I mean, people are going on like just because you change something means it's going to get better. Not the case in the slightest. Right. Okay. Can we still go up then? Top 2. As a question we chucked out on the.
Has he gone? Has Lee Johnson gone? There's a few saying.
People saying Johnson's gone, right?
Right, well, we'll check that out. I'm just, can we go up top 2?
Yeah, he has. Sunderland official Twitter. Sunderland AFC today announced the departure of Lee Johnson, who leaves the club with immediate effect.
Very smile.
Oh, big in hell.
I can't believe it. Oh, right. That's the
That
show.
is official.
Let's
That's
up then,
officially
forget
on.
that.
Scotland.
That's official.
Right, okay. We've got some breaking news for you, by the way. We brought it to you first on this channel. Lee
I
Johnson.
was always Johnson out, by the way. I was always Johnson.
I was as well. I said he had to go. I said he wasn't right for this team. Not
That's
capable of giving those players the hairdryer. Terry.
I want to be the first to say I wish Lee Johnson all the best in his future.
Are you going to do that now? You've been calling for his head for the last God knows how long.
Still wish him all the best.
Saying, I'm not bothered. You were saying he was rubbish and everything. Now, he shouldn't have gone now, should he? Go on, Terry.
He's not a very good coach for Sunderland, but I still wish him all the best as a human being. I don't wish him any ill health whatsoever. And I hope he's, the rest of his life's perfectly fine. I'm just pleased he's left Sunderland, that's all.
My word. Right.
I'm not a twat, you know, Phil.
What's that?
Wow, how mad is that? It's just happened.
Well, the thing, it's funny enough. Who was it?
Well, I'll be making my video after this video about this whole situation.
Right, can I just say, right, listen, do you think, here's something I'll throw at you then, right? Because there's still 1 day left in the transfer window anyway. You don't suppose they're going to bring Jermaine Defoe in as, I mean, they must have something. They must have something.
Is he qualified? Is he? Does he have his coaching badges?
Exactly what I think. He's got coaching badges.
Right,
Exactly.
okay, but they must have something. They must have something lined up, right? So, do you think then? And this is all speculation because we don't know, right? Do you think they've done it now because there's 1 day left in the transfer market and they're going to give somebody funds to get someone in? I can't see it myself. It's just.
I just think you can't survive a result like that, Phil. I mean, I'm sorry, but let's just cut it all right back. Sunderland, without a doubt, in my opinion, the biggest club in that league, have just been beaten 6-0 in the third tier of English football. Now, I know you can say, you blame the players and all that, but just look at that. We lost yesterday in the third tier of English football 6-0. I can't see a way a manager can survive it.
We are in the third division. We're not a Premier League team. We got beat by a team in the same division as us. It happens. We're going on like, just because we're a big club, getting beat off a team is unacceptable. Getting beat is unacceptable regardless, especially 6-0. But just because you're saying they're in the third division, we are the third division, so we got beat by a team.
We've got genuine ambition, though. We've got genuine ambition to get out. There's some of the teams in our league, like Fleetwood, Burton Albion, Accrington Stanley, they're never going to be up in the Premier League, are they? Let's be honest. They're in this. This is probably the highest level we're going to get there.
You know why? You know why? Because they don't have the funding like we do. Like, because money does play a big part. Do you know what I mean? Money is a big part, but does that make you a big club because you got loads of money?
Yeah, but exactly.
If that's the case, Newcastle's the biggest club in the world now. If that's the case, but we all know that's not true.
But that's why our standard should be higher than the likes of them teams, shouldn't it? We're a bigger club with ambition. That's. I don't think enough of our fans have got ambition. Some of the time, I think it's just like we're a league.
It's not ambition. I do believe every team in this league has ambition, but like you've got to be realistic at the same time. Of course, every single team in this league would want to go up, but you just. Because if that's the case, all 24 teams want to go up, but not all 24 teams can. Do you know what I mean? It's
right.
Really hard to explain.
Let me jump in there then. Tony Lee is saying Dino and Monkey in tears. We did say on the bus, right, coming on yesterday, that if he got sacked today, right, that would I be opposed to it? No, I think it's unfair. I think he's had a raw deal. This is the best team we've had since we come down, right? Performing the best, like it or not. That's how it is. We're 2 points off top still. Still got quite a few games to play. However, I only want, like every other Sunderland fan, I want us to be successful. And if if that means bringing in another manager to make sure we have to go up this season, right? And, is this not also a good omen that the people upstairs, right? I mean, one of my questions for later on was, is it not the people upstairs to blame? But at least if they know what they want and they've acted on it. So, credit to them. Terry, you was one in there.
Yeah, I just want to say, I'm sure somewhere in one of these Sunday bunches or Thursday bunches, you have said in the past that we don't have to go up this season. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, I wouldn't.
That's not important to go up this season. It's not the long-term plan.
Can I just say, if we're going to go up eventually, that it'll eventually happen. Obviously, everyone wants it here. Everyone wants it here and now. Of course, they do. Every single team wants to get promoted here and now. But if it's not this season, it'll be the next. If it's not the next, it will eventually happen. It will. It's got to. It can it not? Because the team's always starting to improve now. It's just getting it right. And we've learned this from the Premier League days. Just because you spend a load of money doesn't guarantee you anything. You've got to buy the right players. You've got to try and make money at the same time. So you've got to get the balance right.
Right. See, I think KLD's done the right thing, because I think if we went on the next match and we got beat again, and then the next home game would be I think it'd be a pretty poisonous atmosphere at the Stadium of Light if we were start getting beat again and all the results that we've had. So for me, making the change now gives the new head coach, I think it'll be a head coach, the opportunity to come in and try and get the team. We are in a decent position. Let's not like make any bones about it. We're heading for the playoffs, but we could still make top two. So it gives the new head coach come in something to do, play his own system, try and get the team to play a bit better football than we are, but with a bit more of a sort of, we harder to beat, because at the moment we got a really soft underbelly. And when we go one down, we just can't find a way of sort of coming back. We do get equalised every now and again, but when we go two down, it just seems to be a soft touch. And we do need, in the last day of this window, like Jack says, we need to bring somebody in who's going to be actually a leader. But is there anybody available with only one day to go in the transfer window to be a leader? Possibly apart from Jermaine Defoe, but I don't think he'd be a captain. Normally, he wouldn't be a captain material.
Right, hang on. I'll bring you in just now, Dino. There, Tam says, "Keep the faith. LJ is in control. Promotion nailed on." He's referring to the title we put on tonight's show. Sam, we did talk about this before we come on. We will reveal a little secret. What we do like to do, we do like to put things on where a little bit controversial to get you in, and then you can come and talk about it. So,
what was the first thing I said to you, Philly? What was the first thing I said to you when we came on here?
I don't know.
What's with that flipping title?
Yeah. Well, this is it. It's all. Listen. It's all just PR. We're all right. Before I bring you in, sorry, Dino. Before I bring you in, sorry, when you was referring to me saying it wasn't important that we went up, I do recall what I said, and what I was trying to say was, I believe in the system we've got. Is what upstairs are doing. We've got a new way of doing things, and I'd said, and if that meant that, the way they were going to do it, stripping everything out, and it meant we didn't go up, I trust in what they were doing. They're building the club from the bottom up and getting rid of how we used to do things. Dino.
Philly, do you not reckon you should put Johnson sacked or whatever on the bottom of the roll along so everyone knows? Like, you should do something like that.
Oh, thanks, Dino. Cheers.
Sorry, mate, because everyone's saying Johnson sacked, so if you put on there, might just people who join might not know. As well, has he definitely been sacked or 100%? It's not mutual consent or he's resigned or whatever.
No, it's saying that he's sacked. Announced the departure of Lee Johnson, and his assistant's gone. Jamie McAllister's gone as well. And KLD saying he'd like to thank Lee for his commitment. It looks like he's been pushed.
I think anyway, anybody else that was due to come in between now and the transfer window would have been held and probably sorted by Speakman anyway. It'd already be addressed. I think if the new head coach comes in, then he finds some free transfers that he can sign after the transfer deadline, then they'll probably bring those in.
Right, fair enough. Somebody was saying about Defoe he's got his badges. He got them at Rangers, apparently. It sort of changes the whole show now, really. I mean, I'm here saying, can we still go up top two? So we'll still ask the question. Obviously, the dynamics of it all has changed now. Terry, can we still go up top two? I mean, does it change?
I tell you what, I think it makes things a little bit better now than was before, because I didn't think before. I thought that when we were getting heavy defeats, when we were getting beat heavily, and like I said before, we've got a soft underbelly. We seem to be easily pushed to one side. We need to find some players with some fight in them and obviously a better organisation from the touchline is a help, because for me, some of the players just don't know what they're doing. They don't seem to be we all presume players are intelligent, but some of them probably not intelligent. Some of them need good guidance, need good leadership, and some of these players, it just seem to be like, it's like a boat with no rudders. They seem to be a bit clueless at times, and they need someone coming in with a firm hand to show them the direction, give them the right direction. Something to aim for. We need to be a lot stronger. We need a way to fight on the pitch, not just roll over and take it. So I think for me, anything's possible now, so long as the right man comes in. I say I've got no idea who the likes of KLD want to come in. He may have contacts abroad. We don't know. So we'll have to just wait and see, won't we?
Right. So has your opinion changed now then from, it might change a lot of people's opinion. Loads of people were saying when we did the interviews outside the ground and saying, oh, that's it, we're not going up now, top two's gone. And I was chucking the argument in that, 2 points up top, 17 games still to play. But, that could change a lot of people's opinions now, possibly.
I do feel a little bit more positive now, because I see the bit of light end of the tunnel. Before, after yesterday's 6-0 drubbing and the way the team performed and other bad results this season, I just couldn't see any light end of the tunnel. I knew we probably weren't going to make playoffs, but with a real leader at the forefront who can organise this team, we might be able to get a run of victories. That's what we've been lacking this season, a run of victories.
Right, okay. I had a Borough pal of mine messaged me this morning saying, I feel for you and stuff like that. And he pointed out that it happened to Borough in a promotion season. They went down to QPR and they got beat 5-0, and it was absolutely shocking. I said, but what it did, it gave them the kick up the arse they needed, and they went on this winning run and ended up getting promoted. So, it's that thing of where, this result yesterday could have been, if you want, turning a negative into a positive, a good thing to make them play. Dino, can we still go up top two?
I do think top twos are going to be. Top's definitely gone. I think everyone will agree Wigan's probably going to walk away with that, to be fair. It is between a couple of teams for second. We can still get it, but you need to make the right appointments. You need to get the right man in, because, again, I'll refer, just because we get rid of this manager doesn't mean things are going to get better. They might get worse before they get better. We do not know. I remember when Parkinson came in and did not win a game for how long? It was like, I can't remember what it was. Can you remember that, Terry? We went on that little streak of not winning for about a month or something like that.
Was it after when we won 5-0 against Tranmere? Was it not then? And then everybody was thinking, this is it.
And we went on that terrible run.
We didn't win, did we?
I mean, you've got to get this right. People can say it's bollocks, Dino, but if people think we're going to just get a new manager and we're going to go up easily, they need to look in the mirror, to be fair. If you don't appoint the right man, and the player, don't forget, these players have got to take to that man who they're getting as well. So you've got to get everything right. I did think with Lee Johnson, we'd still be able to maybe make it. But now everything's up in the air. We can, but if you don't get the right man, no.
Right, okay.
I agree as well what Shields once said, and he can say it again if he wants to do with it. We need to appoint a manager who actually understands the area, understands what the fans actually want, and find a way of getting victories. I just don't think Lee Johnson was ever I just don't think he ever understood the Northeast. I just don't think so. That's just my opinion.
I think.
Right, hang on. Jack, sorry. I'll bring in just now because people are starting to chuck names about already on the chat. We will get into that, seeing who we think would be an ideal fit. Sorry, Jack, go on.
No, I was just going to say, I think Lee Johnson was never really popular with the Sunderland fans, and I think we're like someone a little bit more, dare I say, down to earth and straight talk. And I think Lee Johnson, when he came in and his interviews, all the stuff about the, position of maximum opportunity and all that, I think Sunderland fans aren't really like that. We like a manager to say it as it is and come out and, address things. And I don't think he was ever that, he had to scratch your head with some of the things that he said and did sometimes. And I just think he wasn't right for us. I even said that when we were doing well. I just thought, I suppose you get judged on your results, don't you? And ultimately, it's the result yesterday that's cost them. But I just thought long term, when a manager and a club just don't seem to fit, I thought that with Lee Johnson and us, I thought it just doesn't really match Sunderland AFC, I thought.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, on the chat, people banding names about, and Nigel Clough's getting in there a lot. Harvey Clough says, get my Uncle Nigel in. Nigel Clough and Tony Lee on the bus was when we was chatting to Tony Lee. He was saying Nigel Clough all day. Nigel Clough would fit that remit, would he not? I mean, he was born in Sunderland, so he is gonna know the area and stuff. So would he not be a good fit, Jack?
I don't think so. I think Nigel Clough's tended to have success at smaller clubs, mainly Burton Albion. Anytime he's gone to a big club, he managed Nottingham Forest. He didn't do very well. I think he managed Sheffield United and Derby. I don't think he lasted very long there. So I get where they're coming from. I think in terms of his personality would fit us a little bit better, but he wouldn't be someone I'd be looking to.
Right, okay then. I don't know. I don't even know where to go. Is he? Who do we want in then? I mean, I've got a question here. What do we do next? And obviously, Sunderland have sacked him, and like I said, for me, it's it gives me hope that people upstairs, the people in charge, have got a firm plan of what they want and what they need and what they're doing, and I like that. I like the fact that they've acted on it. But who are we going to bring in? People are saying now Big Sam's being bandied about there. Dino, you thought Alex Neil, somebody said he's available. Dino, is anybody you can think of who you might like to see come in?
I mean, I wanted Nigel Clough before we got Parkinson. I thought that would have been a quite good appointment. I don't think you should bring any old timer. I don't think Sam Allardyce would even come to win this in this league. Roy Keane hasn't managed for God knows how long. I know he was a big personality and character, but players these days wouldn't be able to hack it under Roy Keane. They'd probably get him sacked straight away. So I don't think that would be a good fit. I mean, I don't know. I feel like League One managers are basically all the same. They're all kind of the same, just with different personalities, because it's not really like in the Premier League, a certain manager can make the certain adjustments and win games. I think in this league, you don't really have the quality for that. You just need a manager who's going to get it right. And I don't really know. I just, no one sticks out to us at the minute. Just no one, not a person sticks out at the minute to me.
Right.
Philly, do you think KLD and Speakman and all them had a plan that we would lose 6-0 yesterday, and then if we lost 6-0, we sack Lee Johnson tomorrow? I think none of that's planned out. But do you think if it all goes wrong, they've already got a plan in place of weeks ago?
I think I think they probably set themselves targets, and I think they might have said, right, he's got maybe a few more games. They might have said since the beginning of this month, when these last 5 games, where we got 2 points out of the 9 or something, one out of the 3 games, they might have gone, right, there's probably another 2, 3, 4 games, and if he doesn't now perform, then he's going to go, because we need time to turn it around so we can go up. I think just what happened yesterday has just brought that forward. I think what they've done is then from that. Just very quickly before you come in there, Terry, because I've just had a message off Ken Haley. Ken, we interviewed on the fan cams yesterday, and he was saying, I've never liked this guy. We're not going to do anything with him. He said, I told you yesterday. So well done there, Ken. Right, Terry.
Whenever we get a player in like Patrick Roberts or like Danny Bart, they've always said they've had other options to go into the Championship. So surely, as the size of Sunderland's club, with the money that KLD has, surely we can attract managers from the Championship to come down to League One, or managers who would be Championship level to come down to League One, knowing that we're going to back these managers to get them promoted back into the Championship. They're going to have some sort of this vision, this plan, this 5-year plan to bring someone else to do this. Because if we attract them players who had opportunities to go to higher clubs, then surely we can do the same with managers.
Right, okay. Different people, again, banding names about somebody saying the MK Dons boss. I mean, the Wigan boss is getting rave reviews, but, you know, is he going to want to, you know, sort of come from Wigan, who are sitting pretty up there, though, you know, we without a doubt a bigger club than Wigan. Somebody's put in the chat, a woman manager. There you go. Well, you can laugh, but there you go.
I just wasn't expecting you to say that. You know
well,
what I mean?
There you go. Jack, any names in there?
I think, you know, you're going to say names and people are going to probably criticise you, whatever you say. I think Grant McCann, who just left the whole job last week when they got new owners, he took Hull up last year, did a bit of a rebuild on them after they got relegated. He might be someone we would look at. Potentially, there's Paul Cook, who's an experienced League One manager.
Didn't do very well at Ipswich, though, did he?
He didn't know. I mean, like I say, I think you're gonna first and foremost you've got to have someone that will work within the model, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Younger players, director of football, because a lot of perhaps maybe old school managers, the likes of Big Sam Allardyce and that, even if you were to go to them, might not even take it under this current structure. I think a lot of them want 100% control over like recruitment and things like that. So if you ask one of them that, you know, usually has full control to work under a director of football, they might not want to do it. You know what I mean? So you have to look at someone like that, someone that's willing to operate within that model.
I'll bring in just now Terry. Lazy Lobbers, Magnet Fishing. Is Mick McCarthy still working? Daniel Farker's been chucked in there. Claudio Ranieri. I mean, these names. Peter Reid with Kevin Ball. Frank Lampard. Well, I think Lampard's going to Everton anyway, but that would get anybody like that. Gary Bennett is in there as well. Terry, you was wanting.
I've got a feeling it's going to be a foreign head coach. I've got a feeling there's a lot of influx of foreign head coaches come over, like Germany and all these other places have been coming over to the Championship and the Premier League. I've got a feeling there could be another foreign coach coming over, someone that KLD's family may have contacts with. I don't know. I just got this feeling it'll be somebody that we probably never even thought about.
I hope it's not Felix Magath.
To be fair, it was you did say that on the bus yesterday, Terry, about a foreign manager, and but I mean, there's all sorts of names going about here. Mick Hartford coming through. There's, you know, Steve Bruce. It's just going absolutely mental. We did say though on the bus, and I think it was Michael Bowers brought this up about because of this new system we have in place now. And we have the director of football, and they're the ones who are finding these players and bringing these players in. It is less of an impact now, less of a problem getting rid of a manager when the manager's in sole control. I mean, just look at Alex Ferguson with Man United. He was the boss, and he went, and they've never ever been the same again. Under this system we have now, you know, that manager is a less important cog in the system, really. So you can get rid of him, bring another one in, and not necessarily upset this formula, what we're trying to create as much now. Dino?
But haven't we had this formula in the past with when we had Di Canio as the coach and we had that bloke? So we have had this before and it didn't work.
Yeah, but I don't think Defanti was very good, was he? I mean, it's like
with some of the players he signed, definitely not. But again, just because someone else, no manager or head coach wants someone else signing the players you probably don't want, or you don't even know if you want. Or do you know what I mean? Like, that's just my opinion. Like, I mean, if I was in charge of Sunderland, someone else was buying players and you know nothing about them, or you might know a little bit about them, but you might not think they fit your team. I mean.
Right. Okay. Just let's. I'll still pass that round to you. There's still all sorts of names coming in. Warnock. See, Neil Warnock might be a good shout till the end of the season. He's good at coming in and turning things around like that. Just very quickly,
a lot of young players, though, haven't we? With Neil Warnock, is he got a good record with young players? You know,
I don't know.
Squad's very young. He's like, what, 73? He's a good manager, don't get me wrong, in his day, but I don't know if he'd get the tune out of the youngsters. I mean,
I don't know. Look, we've got 540 people on the stream at the moment. Just hit the thumbs up for us. We'll see if we can get up to 200. That would be nice. And please, if you are watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's free to subscribe. Please do that. Hit the bell as well. You'll be notified of anything we do on the channel, so you don't miss anything. If you are watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat on, just close the live chat and you'll see the thumbs up and the subscribe button on there. Less of a problem then getting rid of the manager with this this new system we have in place. Jack, do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just football culture nowadays, don't you? No manager's really there for 5, 6. I mean, other than Guardiola and Klopp at Liverpool, Man City, I think gone are the days when a manager comes into a club and like you get 5 or 10 years to build. I think, unfortunately, they have to have some level of success straight away, and that buys them a little bit more time. And I think Lee Johnson never really got going as a Sunderland manager, so I think it is part of the culture now. You see more and more teams getting rid of man. I think the average shelf life for a manager is only a year and a half, I think, isn't it? What's Lee Johnson had just done a year and a couple of months, so it's about par. All
right, just very quickly, more names coming in here. John Terry, Neil Lennon, Nigel Clough coming in there. Somebody's saying Steve Evans, he'll sort you out. There's no chance of that. Gareth Ainsworth, good shout. I mean, it's just, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go to you, Terry, on this about, is it less of a problem as getting rid of the manager under the new system we have? And then I'll come on to the next question after that. Come on.
Oh, clearly, yeah. Anyway, it always makes me laugh when I say Daniel Farke's name, because I just want to say Daniel Farke. But I do think it's easier to get rid of the head coach, especially if it's not working. You can see clearly that Lee Johnson, his tactics weren't very good, to be honest. It only worked every now and again. And even when we did win games, we didn't really win convincingly, did we? We didn't really perform brilliant in a lot of games we played, to be honest. I mean, the 1-0 win against Portsmouth. Eh?
5-0.
Yeah, we beat Wednesday. We won 3 games 5-0. And they were good results, but a lot of other games. I mean, they're the only 3 games that I really think about that we really played teams off the park. A lot of other games that we won were just scrappy wins and games we weren't really playing very well in. So I think Lee Johnson was the weakest link, and to get somebody to come in, I don't think they can't be a bad bunch of players. They can't be. I mean, you got Danny Barty, who's just come in from Stoke, who's got all the credentials of being like a captain everywhere, and this, that, and the other. And you've got a lot of other players there who probably do well. Pritchard, he's come down a little bit, all the way down from the Premier League, the Championship, down to League One. So we do have some experience and some good kids there. It's just getting them to play as a team. It's getting them to believe in what the manager wants and head coach wants. And I think this, for me, will tell me a lot about KLD, who comes in next. We'll see who he brings in. If it's going to be like another Phil Parkinson, then people will be going, is actually in charge of the club. But if it's someone up and coming, might be some young new head coach who wants to really sort of be ambitious from abroad, I don't know. But we'll soon find out. But I'm actually, this has given me a bit of a lift today, because I was feeling a bit blue, feeling a bit down, and now Lee Johnson's gone. I actually can see a little bit light end of the tunnel.
Right.
It's made going to work tomorrow a little bit better, easier.
Yeah, well, I'll quickly tell you, because we have planned to do a transfer special tomorrow night with the window closing. So as that was happening, and we was in 2 minds whether we're going to do this, but we'll definitely do that now, because there could be that we're involved in that transfer window, and there could be some movement on that now. In the chat down here, Thomas, who's got an unpronounceable surname, says, absolute shambles. Johnson doesn't deserve the sack, not when we are 2 points off the top. Now, interesting, because I think the Johnson out people have always been very vocal about it, more vocal than people backing him. I said, I mean, he's gone. I want best for the club, and if Johnson being sacked does it and gets us promoted, that's all good. However, I do stand by what he's saying. I think he's had a bit of a raw deal when we're 2 points off top with 17 games still to play. It's when you look at it like that, and that's why yesterday when people were saying, you've got to get rid of that. Top two is gone. With no chance of top two. I thought it was a ridiculous statement to make when you have 17 games still left to play and you're 2 points off top. How can anybody just make that statement, Terry?
Look, I've been humming and hawing about Johnson for a long time now, and I slept on it last night. I woke up this morning, I watched the replay, and I watched a few different people's opinions, and I just thought, I'm at the place now where I'm ready for Lee Johnson to go. And I said to you before on the live stream before we came on, I'm now a Lee Johnson out, and as much as I hate seeing people get sacked, I just think it's going to be better in the long run for Sunderland.
I'll tell you what, mind, that's your saving grace, that mind, Terry, saying, because you did say I'm Lee Johnson out before you came out, because otherwise I'd have said, because you've sat on the fence, and that's your prerogative if you want to do that. But you was like, I didn't like him, but, and that. So it is your saving grace, because before we came on air, you did say, I've actually changed my mind now, and I'm Lee Johnson out. So you're lucky. You're lucky.
I did say yesterday as well, if I woke up this morning and he was sacked, I wouldn't be bothered one single bit.
But you asked me that question on the bus as well. You said, if it was sacked tomorrow, then would you be upset? Not really. And I did say, but I would think that he's been given a raw deal when we're 2 points off top with 17 games to play. You can
clearly see why he's gone. I mean, that's possibly the worst performance in our history. And no, you can't really have a manager. If that was a one-off, if we'd won the majority of our games and we're top of the table, 3 points clear, and that happened as a one-off, you think bad day at the office. But because of the previous results that's happened in the past over the last few months, the 5-1s, the 4-0s, the 3-1s at home, you think it's a bit of recurrence theme going on here. So that's what's really tipped it over a bit.
All right, David K says, Dino and Philly are crying. We're not crying, because the thing is, David, we are like any other Sunderland supporters, right? We want Sunderland in the Champions League winning every trophy around, right? That's what we want. However, we all have different opinions, right? And like I say, if getting rid of Lee Johnson means that we get somebody in and we become more successful, 100% I'm behind that. Do I think he's had a raw deal? Yes, I do, because of the simple fact that since we came down to this division, I think we've been in the best position so far, right, out of any other season for going up. So, and that's my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm upset he's gone, because now he's gone, they must have something in place where we're going to be better. Tino, you was wondering.
I'm not upset because I'm not emotionally attached to Johnson. I just think sacking him would probably put you in a worse position, because if you don't get it right, it will put you in a worse position. I mean, imagine this new manager comes in, or whoever they get, head coach or whatever, and see we didn't even make playoffs. Imagine that. And everyone say, hey, if we kept Lee Johnson, we would have probably made playoffs. So, I mean, this can go one or two ways. Where it can boost what on, like the players get that new manager bounce, like every club normally does. Or it'll go the other way, and the managers don't respect this new manager or whatever, and we'll go backwards. It can go one or two ways. Everyone's just automatically assuming we're getting new coaching, we're going to just boost up and start winning games. That's not the case. And if you still think that, fair enough. But I think you're living in cuckoo land if you think we're going to get a new manager and then just go, boom, we win the league, because it doesn't happen like that.
Right, okay. Norman Logan says, is Joey Barton working? And also breaking news coming in from SAFC 83. Apparently, Big Sam has been spotted at McDonald's in Ryab. So get ready for a lot of those. Such and such is staying at CMall and all that are going to be coming out. So I think, Terry, you was wanting, but Jack.
Let Jack in first.
One, Jack.
No, I was just saying I agree with what Dino was saying in principle there. What he's saying is, it's no guarantee it's going to be any better. It might be the same or even worse. But I think looking at yesterday's performance, most Sunderland supporters would say it's taking a risk, but it's worth rolling the dice, because we know what Lee Johnson's teams are. We know what he is. and ultimately he's not up to much. So I agree with what Dino was saying. There's no guarantee it's going to go right, but I think a lot of Sunderland supporters after yesterday will probably say it's worth rolling the dice.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's that thing what me and Dino keep saying anyway, whereas when people who wanted Lee Johnson out, you know, when we got beat, it was Lee Johnson's fault. However, when we won, it's down to the players. You know, Lee Johnson's not on the pitch, it's the players. So on that score, you know, just bringing the new manager in, you know, it's still the players. You know, you got that group of players. It's about getting a manager who can get these players to gel together on the pitch, play for that manager, you know. But the team, I don't think the team is that bad. We saw that at the start of the season, where we had the best start of the season ever. And, you know, and they look quite good. Terry, you're out of time, by the way. So
when I ask Dino a quick question.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Are you still playing golf with Lee Johnson tomorrow?
No, I'm playing with you, aren't I?
I'm at work. That's
right.
covered Lee Johnson's plans tomorrow, isn't he?
Look, I wasn't emotionally attached to Lee. It's not like I'm Lee Johnson's biggest fan. I just think the team's looking good. This is the best position we've been in since we've been in League One. And don't say it's not, because we weren't even in the top two most of the seasons we've been in here. Yeah. I mean, we're still in the hunt. We're in a good position. The boardrooms, what do you call it, all being changed. I know Stuart Donald's still got a little investment in it with the 40% or whatever he's got, but KLD's in charge. We're signing young, hungry players. We're being smart in the window. Everything's quite good, and we are still in a good position. And it is a shame to see him leave, but I'm not like, oh my God, I'm heartbroken, blah, blah, blah. I just think just because people just, like, again, I'll say it again, I might be repeating myself. People think just because you sack Lee Johnson, you're automatically going to get better. Not the case. And this could backfire at everyone's faces, because if we didn't even make playoffs after where we are now, it would be absolutely laughable. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But then there's the other way. Then there's the other one, is if we do make top two or we do get promoted, everyone says, see, we made the right decisions. So it just depends on where you are. And for me, I think it's a big, big, big risk.
Hang on, Terry, I'll bring you in just now because I know you're
I'm fine.
Kyle McNee says never should have been sacked. I wonder now if this is going to make the supporters of Lee Johnson a bit more vocal. But, you know, there's no getting away from what you've just said there, Dino. We are in the best position we've been in since we came down into this league to get promoted, and that's the only reason I think it's a bit tough on him. But hopefully, like I said, we're going to. We've got apparently the new manager's just arrived.
Colin.
We're going to announce him on the channel now. Here he is, Colin, the new manager. Hello, Colin. Say hello, everybody. Are you happy to be new manager? Going to be the new manager? Yes. All right. Okay. All right. Goodbye. There you go. There's the new manager. Just announced for you. We'll put it across the bottom on the ticker tape. Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's. Well, we're gonna have to watch now and see what's going to happen. The thing is, Dino, with you're playing golf with Lee Johnson tomorrow. I mean, he did say it had to be after 5 o'clock because he was going to be at work. You might be up here at 11 in the morning now. You never know. He's going to be available. Well, we didn't expect that, did we, lads?
The thing is, though, it's going to be exciting now to see what this board do, because the thought Johnson was the man. He could have still been the man, but he's not the man no more. So all we're going to be sitting, waiting to see this announcement, and I guarantee there's going to be people fuming about the announcement. There's going to be people happy about the announcement, and there's going to be people like, we don't know. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, yeah, see, people already on the chat, and this is the life of a Sunderland supporter. People are already saying Colin out already, and he's not even played a game yet. So there you go. We didn't expect that.
Just doing number 2 on your knee.
What?
You're not just doing number 2 on your knee?
No, it was a number 1. So
all right. That's all right. He can keep his job then.
We didn't expect that, did we? There you go. That was a good bit of breaking news. It totally threw my schedule out of there. Where I was going to mention about when I was down there was a lot of bottles being thrown amongst the fans and stuff like that. But more important things to talk about. Like you say, it will be exciting over the next few days. See what we bring in. I've got every confidence in these in this new system we've got. So yeah, it is. It's quite exciting to see who comes in. So we are going to do tomorrow. We are going to do a transfer special. So check that out. We'll advertise that on the channel. You'll see when that comes up. Terry,
I was just going to say, wrap it up. I've got a video to make.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you got to get on there. Right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Dino, just say bye to everyone.
Yeah, goodbye, and you know, it's going to be interesting.
You seem a bit depressed, Dino.
I'm not bothered. I'm not. If we don't go up, I'll just say we should have kept Lee Johnson. Like everyone will say, if they go up, oh, it was a good idea. Yeah. So I'll just play that agenda. But yeah, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered.
To be honest, I'm over the minute. I've been a Johnson out person for years, for months. Just because
I think it's a mistake. I think it's a mistake, but if we get promoted, it won't be a mistake. But then if it doesn't happen, I can say, see, it was a massive mistake. We should have kept Johnson Brown. It's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Exactly. Jack, just say bye to everybody.
See you later, lads and lasses.
All right, Terry, wrap it up.
See you in a bit.
Terry will be doing a video straight away. So if you want to go on his channel and see what he's got to say about this breaking news. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, like it. And more importantly, please subscribe. It's free to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell and you'll be informed of when anything new happens on the channel. We'll see you tomorrow for the transfer special. Thank you very much. Goodbye.